controversial Proposition 8 same-sex marriage ban. Earlier, CNN's Dan Simon spoke with those on both sides of this issue outside the Supreme Court building.
Well, a very lively atmosphere outside of the courthouse. Oral arguments now underway. The Supreme Court looking at whether or not to uphold the ban on same-sex marriage. Now, that ban was a result of Proposition 8, which was narrowly approved by California voters in the November election by a 52 to 48% margin. As you may recall, that set off a wave of protests throughout the country. Gay rights groups were very well organized, obviously very vocal on this issue. And we should note that it was just about 6 months ago that the California Supreme Court ruled in favor of same-sex marriage, only to see that decision invalidated by Proposition 8. I want you to listen now to CNN legal analyst Jeffrey Toobin, who framed the issue in a very profound way. Take a look.
This case is really about democracy because the voters have spoken. The voters said no gay marriage. But courts are often supposed to be a check on democracy to protect oppressed groups. So the question is the Supreme Court here going to support the democracy of the majority or protects the rights of the minority?
One of the participants in the proceedings is very well known, Starr. He is best known for handling the inquiry into President Clinton's affairs during the Whitewater scandal. He is now dean of Pepperdine University's law school. We should note that the Supreme Court is not expected to make a ruling today. A ruling is expected in 90 days. Dan Simon, CNN, San Francisco.
We are following developments at the hearing on the gay marriage ban, and you can see live coverage of the California Supreme Court on our website. That's CNN.com. San Francisco's mayor supports gay marriage, and he rejects the argument from opponents that domestic partners have the same rights and benefits as married people.
I thought we dealt 55 years ago with the notion that separate is not equal. They're arguing that separate is somehow equal. I thought that we had worked through that in the consciousness of people's minds. I don't believe in running the 90-yard dash on equality. I believe a marriage is marriage, and I believe there's a reason they spent $40 million on a word, is they understand that the institution is different and it's superior to civil unions.
Newsom says he believes in full equality for everyone, and he is worried about a simple majority taking away the rights of the minority.
Some of the decisions that people make, you may not like what appears on the ballot, but nonetheless, people have that right. And the judge wanted to make sure, the Chief Justice wanted to make sure that he was being intellectually honest in making that argument. So I want to throw to some sound between the Chief Justice and Kenn Starr. Take a look.
Right to marriage, right to free speech, whatever, that can be removed by the simple amendment process.
We may govern ourselves very unwisely, but happily, because we're in a federal republic, there are fail-safe mechanisms under the federal Constitution.
So what Kenn Starr is saying is that people have the right to decide this issue when it comes to same-sex marriage, and obviously the justices will decide.
All right, Dan Simon for us in San Francisco. Dan, appreciate it. Thank you. You know, we want to bring you some of the passionate sights and sounds from both sides of the debate, some of the pictures brought to you by you, our CNNI reporters.
Equal rights! When do we want it? Equal rights! Equal rights!